Hello everyone, welcome to Dilton's Tech Blog. So in this series of videos, as we are seeing in KNX, today we are going to see the different items or components that is required in a standard KNX installation. So whether it is a small apartment, a studio apartment, a commercial building, or whatever might be the size of the installation, we will need certain devices to establish, or let's say do the communication. Like let's say we have some set of devices like a power supply, um, and let's say some kind of actuators, keypads, sensors. So these are the components that we normally see in a KNX installation. So today we are going to see some devices. I'll show you some devices from different manufacturers, and we will see how to connect them in the next videos. Okay, so let me open the camera here. Okay, so for any KNX installation, so the first and foremost requirement will be a KNX power supply. So you can see here, this is a power supply from Hager. So I also have one more power supply. So this is a power supply from Schneider. So one thing that you can see here is that there is a symbol here. So you can see here, there is a symbol. So this symbol you can see an alternating current tidal hash symbol and a DC symbol. So this means this is a KNX power supply. So it has an inbuilt choke which is not mentioned here, but you can see here this representation is more accurate. You can say that it is 110 to 230 volt, 50 to 60 hertz. This is the symbol for the power supply, and you can see there is a, let's say, a capacitor kind of thing here, or an inductor. So this is actually denoting a choke. Okay, so this choke is the one that separates the alternating current of signals that is in the KNX bus from the power supply side or the DC power supply side of the system. So you can see in both systems we have the standard KNX connector, the red and black one. Okay, so we can have any one of the power supply. So let's say let's consider the Schneider power supply. Okay, so this is the first thing. So what else we need? So we need some kind of actuators. So where the lights are getting connected. So let's say I have a switching plus 1 to 10 volt dimming actuator from Merton. So this is a dual actuator. So it can do on off as well as it can also do 1 to 10 volt dimming. So normally we only need an on off actuator. But in our scenario, we also have a 1 to 10 volt, 0 to 10 volt dimming type. So I don't have a standard actuator, so I'm just showing this. Then normally we also have some kind of universal dimmers in our system. So this is a 1 to 10 volt or 0 to 10 volt actuators require a special type of ballast on the light side or on the luminaire side, which is normally required to convert the 0 to 10 volt into 0 to 100% brightness. So one more type of dimmer is this type. So this is something called as a universal actuator. So this is a universal actuator. So universal meaning that it can run a resistive type of load or inductive type of load or a capacitive type of load like incandescent bulbs. Also devices like direct phase dimming or phase cut dimming or edge dimming lights, LED lights, luminaires in the system. So this is the standard for, let's say, our outputs. So what are the inputs that we have? So what are the different types of inputs? So let's keep this aside. So what are the inputs we have? Let's see. So normally there will be something of like this, that is a KNX keypad. A KNX keypad. So this is a one gang two-fold keypad. So there is one button here and there is another button here. So you can see on the back you have the TP connector. Okay, we have the TP connector. So this is also from Schneider. Then this is one type of input device. We also have a lot of sensors. So let's say sensors like motion sensors and so on. So one more type of input device is this system. This is again this is a universal or let's say a binary input module from Schneider. So what is the advantage of this type of module? This type of modules normally is used to connect normal switches like our standard electrical switches into KNX switches. So you can see there is a KNX bus connector here, and you can see there is a diagram here. So we connect the gray to the switch, and there are two more inputs. So this is a two-fold switch binary input. So this can be used as a push button, it can be used as a toggle, it can be used as a one button dimming with push button. So it could be anything is possible. So this is one time. Okay, so these are very simple devices. So just on off or dimming. So when you have more sophisticated, let's say, installations, or where I have space constraint and I want lot of control in a single space, let's say in a single one module or a 3 by 3 box, I need a lot of controls. So that is where we come up with touchscreens. So this is a touchscreen from GVS. It's the S3 touch. So this is a glass variant. So there are 3 buttons which can link to some icons in the screen. So this is a full touchscreen with I think 12 to 16 function pages, and also room thermostat function, lights, dimming, RGB control, audio, even let's say video door phone control, and SIP intercom access. So this is the back. So I don't have the connectors connected now, but I will show you later. So this is also KNX certified. So one thing that you can notice in all the devices is that these are all KNX certified devices. So you can see in all the devices the KNX logo is present, meaning that it is a official KNX product. You can see the KNX here. So we have the KNX here, and also it has been marked with the EIB logo. This is the older logo which was discontinued in the year 2006, but some devices still have it. Again, you have here the KNX logo. So these are the primary components that is required for any KNX installation. So we need a power supply, an actuator, either it could be on off or dimming. You need a keypad, let's say a very simple keypad like this one, or a more rudimentary keypad where you can use your existing toggles or push buttons, or a more sophisticated or more complex installation where we need to use a touch screen. So one thing that we need apart from this is the most important part of our installation, that is the TP cable. So the green color cable that you guys all know. So that is the major system. So you can see this is the green color cable. So normally the KNX cable is a 4-core cable. So you have the red and black for the power and data. So power and data meaning that you don't need this yellow and white core unless or otherwise you need auxiliary power to the devices. So what is auxiliary power? So if you see, let's say you take this actuator, or you take this dimmer or this keypad, or even this keypad, you see there is only red and black. There is no provision to connect the yellow and white cable. So why? Because these are bus powered devices. Bus powered means the data and let's say the power transmits through the single red and black core. But some devices like the touch screen here, it's actually more power consuming. So what happens in some scenarios, okay, it's not only in some scenarios, in some cases, even some actuators, some keypads, they require auxiliary power. So this auxiliary power is to power the additional electronics in the system or in the hardware. So let's say if you see here, you can see there are 4 pins, and if you can see closer, there is one is mentioning KNX and the other one is mentioning DC. So whenever you have dual connector options in the device, that means you need to provide it with auxiliary power. So this yellow and white cable is normally used for the auxiliary power. It is normally used for the auxiliary power, and it's commonly powered by the KNX power supply itself with the auxiliary output. Or you can use any 24 volt, anything from 12 volt to 32 volt to power up this bus and to power the device. Okay, so I hope you understand that what are the components we are using for a basic KNX installation. Thank you.